Gentlemen, we should be good to go, back and better than ever. We've got a game to cast, our stream is working, we've got great people in chat. I do want to thank every one of you for coming out and tuning in tonight for the Collegiate Star League's game tonight between Waterloo and University of Massachusetts Amherst. Now, where is Waterloo? Well, it's in Canada. For all of you guys who are maybe geographically challenged, that's right up above the United States. They've been a big factor in collegiate esports for a very, very long time. And, of course, one of the best teams in League of Legends collegiate esports. Definitely have a lot of big names that go to the school, the biggest of which may not be this Platoon guy, who is so good. I've been casting him in League of Legends games for Waterloo for what seems like years. I think it actually has been years, but suffice to say, it's a guy you need to watch. And, of course, top lane, guy that you need to watch here as well, Dakla. A couple of cool things about Gangplank top lane. So, you've got this little interaction that we just saw right there, the strength of Grasp of the Undying. Yeah, so basically what that means is that whenever you're in combat for 4 seconds and you Q someone, you're going to get Grasp of the Undying. It steals health from them, gives it to you, but it's a third as effective, or it's half as effective if you're ranged. Well, Parlay counts as a melee ability. So basically you auto attack for up to 4 seconds, and then you Q the guy and you steal melee based health off of him, which is incredibly effective. It's super strong. Gangplank top lane is a beast. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. Of course, bottom lane also a big lane to keep an eye on as well. That is primarily because you got the two strongest champions for both of these players, the Upclouds and Platoon. Very, very strong there in that regard. Slayers, though, coming top lane. Nairo is not going to have a good time here. Flash is away. There's the flash, the auto attacks, the red buff, and it's first blood, stealing that kill from Dakla. Slayers just wants to put himself on the board, and he does. First blood for University of Massachusetts. Make sure to update these scores and put them where you guys can see them. This is our first game of the night, so I do want to thank everybody for your patience. It has been quite a night for us here at CSL, and it's good to be rewarded with games such as these. Automobile 5, or Automobile V. Not sure what the 5th automobile was. Maybe it's like a, Model V. I'm not sure they ever made it past Model T, but you know what? If they did, that's probably what Lux would be. Going up against Victor, two kind of control-y mages in the mid lane. You shouldn't see a whole lot of interaction between them. Lux has a small harass advantage, whereas Victor probably has a little bit of a wave clear advantage once he gets that upgrade to his Hex Core. Of course, we shouldn't see any of that kick into gear for a while. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure all these champions are in the right place so that everybody knows where everybody's supposed to be on the scoreboard. So we've already seen first blood happen off of a gank top lane. Poppy a little bit more mortal than she imagined, and man, you can really see Platoon going for some pretty powerful trades here, getting that shield on, walking forward, and Jun Hyung certainly doing a good job of that. Of course, maxing Eye of the Storm, and then splitting points between Zephyr and Howling Gale, just to make sure you can use those. And man, these Qs are working out. Junyoung, no, the stun lands! There's an Ice Exhaust there, but Slayer's coming in from behind. Needs to get that knockup, flash immediately afterwards. Junyoung backwards, but Platoon pretty strong there. Here comes Sherb, turning around with a miss there on that Cosmic Binding. It's going to be a flash forced out, but an unsuccessful gank there nonetheless. I mean, I guess you can call it successful because, hey, you got the guy's flash, but at the same time, you definitely got to stay careful with, overextending. A counter gank from Nunu would have been pretty devastating had Massachusetts decided to keep fighting that. So you definitely don't want to overstay your welcome there. So some good ganks, some good pressure from Slayer Z earlier on in the game, but of course that doesn't mean that it's over yet. We've got only a 300 gold difference, and that difference is primarily up in the top lane, and because, hey, it's Gangplank. Of course, in the mid lane, you can see that difference coming right back over to Waterloo, as Automobile 5 is definitely putting the pain down. It's up 20 CS in that matchup, give or take, and is doing a great job at keeping the pressure on, keeping the lane pushed, and watching out for ganks at the same time. Keeping an eye on the bottom lane now as Nunu coming in. Sherb looking to put the pain down. Where's the last auto attack? Oh, one more. That's all it's going to take. There's the flash. The snowball. The heal from the Bard's Relic is not going to... it is going to keep the up clouds alive. And even with the Gangplank ult to help out, that is not going to be a kill down in the bottom lane. Man, it's so close, and yet... so far, I was expecting Automobile 5 to come down for like a laser snipe there, but wasn't meant to be in the up clouds. Was forced back to base, but is going to be able to make it back to lane safe and sound without dropping down. And Uncool coming back from base, he's got himself his first Hex Core upgrade, the Hex Core Mark 1, and that will allow him to wave clear extremely effectively in the mid lane. I think that Hex Core upgrade by itself is the reason that Victor is so played now. Like, granted, he's a good control mage, he's got a lot of burst potential, but the ability to have the just incredible wave clear, it's like minions come in a line, what else comes in line? Death Rays! And so it's just incredibly effective to see. Oh my gosh, that damage on a Nairo is ridiculous. And you'll notice that Dakla did that when he was chugging a corrupting potion, so it actually burns him a little bit over time. Really good Gangplank here, and you can see now a 30 CS advantage over that Poppy. That is not going to be a good lane for Neuro to be in for very much longer. I guess I'm going to be calling him Nairo because he does have those two eyes, but they aren't actually eyes. And if I remember correctly from talking to my phonetics, my old phonetics teacher, they actually do have pronunciations for those, but I don't know what it is. Junhyung gonna shield himself up. He's Janna, but is he Janna enough to escape? Double exhaust go down at the same time. Platoon is out of here. The up clouds taking him down, and now Sherb trying to put some damage down onto Uncool. Winds up backing off, and overall just great engage. There's Slayers in position here for this dragon. Nairo on the Dakla, putting some damage down. There's the knockup. Dakla taking a lot of damage there, but will be able to survive. That shield buckler being thrown at long range, but no kill. Dakla able to survive. Wild Rek'Sai appears and speeds past our screen. But it's nice to see Neuro, even though he has been struggling a lot in this lane phase, still able to at least have a successful trade there against Gangplank. Nero is how he pronounces it. Thanks, Slice of Paradise. I'll be doing my best. Although how I'm supposed to get Nero out of the two little eye symbols, I'm not sure. But hey, I've seen stranger names. Trust me. That's actually half the benefit of casting CSL, is because you think you know the English language, you think you understand basic principles of phonetics and pronunciation. And then you see some of these kids' names, and I'm just like, all right, man. Whatever you want, I'm down, but don't expect me to get it the first time around. So Nero up in the top lane versus Dakla. I feel like this is going to be one of the more exciting matchups. Of course, we've seen a lot of action both top and bottom. And one place we probably won't see any action is the mid lane, because I feel like it's just going to be lots of wave clear, lots of killing minions. And while, yes, it may suck to be a minion in this game, at least we get some good action on the side lanes. But still, man, with that 30 CS advantage for Dakla, I don't know, that's definitely going to be the struggle for Nero as he continues to try to do hashtag things Poppy does. In a head-to-head, like one-on-one fight, Dakla probably loses, but I'm not sure if he's ever really going to be forced to fight that fight, because of course he can just keep shoving these waves in. Use barrels for disengage. We actually have a little bit of action going down here. Sherb going in. There's a nice Bard ult. Tempering the fate right there is the Gangplank ult for a little bit more slow. The burst damage, Sherb very low, and he does go down at Dakla. Across the map, sniping that kill out with a cannon barrage. That's pretty good. Well played there. Gangplank things now coming up onto the top lane. Gonna be able to get those barrels to hit. Nero, though, puts him into the wall. Nice cleanse there. Drinking some oranges. And, oh, after stealing away the red buff, there's absolutely no way that Nero can possibly do anything. Oh, man, Platoon held in place there for a second, but nice heal there by Jun. As he helps him out. Platoon actually comes out of that trade without losing all that much health at all. He does have potions running, so he's good to go in the AD carry department. And kind of interesting to see that be possible, because, of course, while Lucian is building up straight physical damage, Ezreal is a big fan of this mana stat, which gives him 0 combat effectiveness, but does allow him to spam out his spells a little bit better, and of course helps stack up into those items that he wants to build up a little bit later on. An underrated characteristic of this red buff that Docla's picked up is if you actually read it, it restores 1% of your missing health every second to you. Or is it every 5 seconds? I think it's every second. It doesn't actually say in the tooltip. Yeah, the tooltip's not updated, but the red buff actually does heal you based on your missing health. I think it's like 1%. Periodically, and it's just like I'm not sure why that was added to it, but it gives you a little bit of extra sustain. If you're aggressive in the jungle, you can get that, and it will actually heal you up not only from smiting it, but also just by having the buff on your body. Plus, it basically means that no champion in the game can outtrade you if you're basically on even footing, because you get true damage burn, which you can't build defensively against unless you're like, you know, stacking max health or something. And even still, it's ridiculously effective. So Docla, nice steal, nice effectiveness in lane. That's actually given him now a 40 CS lead up in the top lane over Nero's Poppy, who, man, really having some struggles here. Oh, but look at Automobile. He is putting in the work. Flash from Slayers. Okay, he's not going to go for the flash knockup. Automobile just gets out alive by using the time-honored tradition of just walking away. I feel like I wish some of my teammates in solo queue realized that ability to avoid ganks by... Oh my gosh, the big burst! And Automobile on the kill, uncool. Probably thinks that kill was uncool, but really impressive aggression there by Lux. And that's in a lane where it should be passive. It should mean that you just, you know, walk around, kill a lot of minions, and don't actually fight each other. But Automobile, he was able to push up aggressively, which is equally impressive because of how aggressive Slayers has been. He's been involved in every single kill in this game, so you definitely have to respect the jungle hustle. But didn't Automobile, who's playing aggressively even still, avoided the gank even afterwards, and now he's going to help the rest of his team snowball this into a dragon. Platoon, not sure why he doesn't fight that a little bit more, and yeah, there it is. Forcing out that magical journey. I don't know about that, Junhyung. Goes through there, forced to exhaust. That was a little bit questionable there on that magical journey, but top lane, we've got a lot of damage going down as well. Nero trading that health back out again as well. I appreciate the pronunciation help on all these lanes. Nero versus Dokla. I guess I should have recognized that. But see, the A is 2 consonants away from the O. So theoretically, that should be a short vowel sound instead of a long one. So just saying phonetically, whoa, Dokla! Dropping Nero with a nice last second Q. That's that Trinity Force power. In case you guys were wondering where that damage came from, it's a pretty good item, and it is usually the first item for Gangplank. I remember tank planks back in the day used to go for Iceborne Gauntlet, because it turns out before you had the barrel mechanic that would give you parlay procs for everything, if you killed a bunch of minions with Iceborne Gauntlet and parlay with the AoE effect, then you'd get the gold from every one of those minions like you had parlayed it. But now barrels do that, so it's of course much easier to get crazy amounts of gold. And of course, if you want to take a look at the gold, you can see that Gangplank kind of leading all comers in that department. He's up at about 6,600 gold. No one else even close. In fact, the most gold in the game below him is on the other team in the mid lane, as Automobile is putting up some pretty good gold stats, but still almost 1,000 gold behind. That's that Gangplank power. Back to base to buy a BF sword. 2-0, and this Gangplank is starting to get a little ridiculous. Buys a pickaxe as well. Like, where does he come up with all this money? He's got Scrooge McDuck coffers back at home. He can just go diving around in it. 2-0-1, of course. Very impressive score here for Dokla. And what's a poor little Poppy gonna do against that? You've got this crazy strong Gangplank in lane, and Poppy is just trying to be you know, defender of the hammer or whatever she is. Her hammer is looking a little tiny now. Was that a 777 crit from Dokla? Pretty lucky. Sometimes lucky. Thundercats, whoa! Up in the mid lane. I feel like we're going to have to enunciate that just to make sure that I get his name right. Slayers, though, catches Sherv. Jun's there as well, so Slayers probably doesn't want to do very much there. Whoa, pound him against the wall, though, and Cool has been caught. Forced to flash away. There's the laser, will be dodged, but is it dodged enough? Ooh, Nero could have gone for it, but better safe than sorry. Not looking to pick up any more in the death column. Already 0-2 and probably doesn't want to get reported for feeding after this, so... Discretion, the better part of valor. Of course, Quinn, the better part of valor as well. But we don't have that champion in the game. Flash for the knock up there onto Platoon. We got the bar damage down, and I'm not sure Platoon is going to survive that. Dokla snipes another kill. Does this guy even have to be in the lane with the people he's killing? And apparently not. He's gotten 2 of those kills off of his ultimate. That's a sign of a good Gangplank character. It's like, do you actually have to fight the guy or be anywhere near him to pick up the kill? Nope. You can actually just kill anyone you want anywhere. Lots of big barrel damage there. And okay, so Dokla is pretty god mode right now. When he recalls to pick up an Infinity Edge, that's how you know it's gonna be a little bit off the chain wax, if you know what I'm saying. Janna shield, I'm not sure that's really going to cut it against the turret there. It does stop a little bit of the damage, though, but still has to clear this minion wave back out. Waiting for Platoon, and, you know, I feel kind of bad. I hyped this Platoon guy up, and to be fair, he has had very many spectacular games for Waterloo. The only issue is that he's not having such a good game here today, especially with Gangplank being as strong as he is. There's only so many ways you can outplay a parlay. It doesn't really lend itself to too much counter play potential, but we'll see what happens when we get into big team fights. Ezreal, of course, can be a poking, kiting monster, but it will be a little bit of time before we see that really kick into high gear in these team fights. Uncool doing that thing that junglers hate, taking the Raptor camp while Rek'Sai is right there. It's like, dude, come on, I'm right here. Why you gotta creep jack me there? Either way, you know, the game goes on. It's still not over by any means. 5-1, not quite the start that Waterloo may have wanted, but of course you can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, I'm not sure what you find after that. But currently they're fighting themselves with 1-5, so Waterloo definitely going to need to look for something a little bit more encouraging this game. As far as objectives go, though, you can you know, give Waterloo some props there. They've used that new pick in the jungle to get a lot of objectives secured. Most notably that dragon, of course, to sort of even up that along with the top lane turret. So one objective for one, and of course dragon does different things now. It gives you burn damage on turrets if you have 2 of them. It also gives you percentage damage reduction to turrets if you get 4 of them, and that's actually pretty ridiculous. I think it's is it 30%, 20%, something along those lines. I think it actually wound up being 20%. You can of course hover over that buff to find out. But here we go. Dragon number 2 is about to be started up. This could be a little bit ridiculous. Yeah, it is 20% less damage from turrets. Oh man, gets the arcane shift. Can't even get out of there. Look at those barrels. Oh my goodness. This is a massacre. Another kill from Dokla off of his cannon barrage. How does he hit every single one? That's his 4th kill of the game. 5th kill of the game, man. He's just clocking in. This game is just like Gangplank farm alarm all day long. Dokla picking up so much gold. Take a look at the gold count. Over 10,000 gold for this champion at 20 minutes. That's a little ridiculous. And a dragon afterwards. That's going to give him percentage damage increase as well. Dokla kind of sitting on top of the world right now. Tons of gold from Parlay. And in fact, can we check the gold from Parlay in this game? Yes, he's plundered 1,100 gold from his Q ability. That's 1100. He's I don't know, man. It's a good spell. I highly recommend using it if you play Gangplank. It's pretty good. So this recall, Infinity Edge, Trinity Force. What's the next item? I can only imagine probably a Essence Reaver. No. He's gonna go for. I'm thinking either Black Cleaver. Yeah, okay, Essence Reaver. Yeah, there we go. Wow. So this Gangplank's slightly strong, 274 attack damage compared to Platoon, who has 176. So there's 100 damage difference in AD between Platoon and Dokla. Of course, I mean, obviously that's because blue build Ezreal doesn't build a lot of attack damage. You know, he's investing in mostly cooldown reduction and the on-hit damage from Mana Moons, so not an accurate comparison, but still, just having that 100 number and the difference between the AD should tell you a little bit about how strong Dokla is at this point.
More powder.
This is the first game of our best of 3 series tonight, so if you're worried, if you thought you made it here late, don't worry. We've got tons of League of Legends here, but not if UMass continues to play up to this standard. Now, granted, to be fair, as much as we're hyping up Dokla because he's, you know, clocking in, he's bank plank at this point, I gotta give some honorable mention to, oh my gosh, that light binding was so scary. Automobile 5 in the mid lane, that guy is transcendent. While everyone around him is dying, he's picking up solo kills, and he's doing a lot to just wave clear over and over again and try to keep this turret alive. Why he doesn't ult to clear that wave is a mystery to me. Turret's still alive for just a little bit, but it's not going to stay up for very much longer. Nice tempered fate there. Catches 2. Will stop any chase as University of Massachusetts Amherst comes out with a turret kill. Forcing a flash out there, pinched against the wall. Uncool, not in a great spot there. And Uncool has kind of been a weak spot as far as positioning goes, just in lane. It's been a little bit of a struggle. However, now the counter siege coming out from Waterloo. Can they kill that turret? Down the big binding! Thundercats, whoa, almost going down there. Nero doing poppy things. He's pretty tanky there at low health thanks to his passive. There's Sherb channeling his ult. Walk into it, no! Nobody walks in. Slayers will knock him up, and Sherb might not be long for this world. He's trying to run away, do new things, but fortunately the only new thing he did there is die. As a 2-for-0 exchange as the strong gets stronger. UMass Amherst who get the knockup. Oh, the nice snipe on the Q there by Platoon. Able to land all that damage, and now the counter push again. It's like a rubber band, you know. We're going one way, and you know, University of Massachusetts Amherst take down the outer turret from Waterloo. Then Waterloo takes UMass's turret. Then UMass are pushing back up the mid lane. So it's a little bit back and forth here. But still, impressive performance from Dokla to cash in so much this game. But if you look on the other side, you can say, hey, equally impressive from guys like Platoon and their ability to push to put pressure on and ultimately, most likely, push down this middle outer turret. Trying to secure some vision control up here in the mid lane. A bunch of damage on Automobile 5. It's up around... okay, they moved the AP down here. It used to be up here. Up around 300 AP. The big burst is good! Automobile picking up his 4th kill off of just a light binding. That's that hit confirm he needed. And what an impressive performance in the mid lane. He lost his turret, but it's not lost his life. Dokla, okay, yeah, you can't outplay that. He would have needed the most monstrous crit of his life to get out of there. Finally caught out and punished. He can't keep getting away with it. Platoon punishes him for overextending and finally gets that shutdown goal. But man, at this point, Gangplank top lane has Flame Horizoned his lane opponent Nero. He's over 100 CS in the lead. And just look at this damage with that Essence Reaver completed. My boy Gangplank up almost 300 attack damage with that Essence Reaver completion. And of course he's not going to be stopping there. He's either going to go for a Black Cleaver, Yomu's Ghost Blade, something along that line for more armor penetration. It just gets ridiculous. You don't need a Last Whisper because as far as percentage armor penetration goes, that's what your barrels are for. So you kind of get to skip that item and look for a little bit more damage elsewhere. The Essence Reaver also a little bit, I wouldn't say questionable. I just see a lot more like Yomu's Ghost Blades being built instead of that. Oh, nice dodge there by Automobile 5 on the tempered phase that flies up the mid lane. Thundercats Woe has been really good on point with that skill all game long, so impressive dodge there. Amherst trying to get these engages. Nice double laser on the automobile. Thereby uncool. But, you know, the game goes on, and it's 26 minutes in. Feels like a lot later into the game with as much farm and pressure as Dokla's been putting on. More power. He's going to try to get the steal. He does! Steals the blue buff with a barrel over the wall. And a 1,000 damage critical strike. There's the true shot barrage to try to steal on the dragon, but Slayers is able to smite that one down for the second dragon of the game for UMass Amherst. Taking a little bit of a breather, a break from the action. Wow, 500 damage crits there on a Nero. That is a lot. But he's got a pretty decent core Poppy build here. Granted, he's down 100 CS, but as far as where he should be in this game, he's not too far away from that. It's just that Dokla is actually ridiculously far ahead, so it's not going to work out. He gets plus 40 gold, and to check out the gold that he's gotten from Parlay, now up to 1,600 gold. Just for free, for using Q. Like, that's it's pretty good. Plus, given, you know, as much magic damage as there is from Bard and Uncool, that's actually a Spirit Visage picked up for Poppy. She's trying to be as dense a champion as possible defensively, but that will not help her very much versus Gangplank, I'll tell you that much. So, Dokla probably still pretty good to split push if he wants to. He's been great at picking up kills off of his cannon barrage, so no worries there. If I'm not mistaken, he has actually upgraded it, although I'm not sure I can see exactly which upgrades he has. Okay, so he's got Fire at Will and Death's Daughter. So he's actually already has 2 upgrades, only needs the Raise Morale for the AoE team-based movement speed upgrade through the ults. But still has lots of hits and the true damage in the middle from Death's Daughter, so just, yeah, pretty incredible at this point. Oh, no, sorry, that barrel does not reach. But now Baron pressure actually starting to be applied as the rest of UMass Amherst try to clear out the vision in the area. Pretty effective at doing so, and whew, man. So clutch, so tense, because as soon as UMass try to pressure Baron, you can see a great realization there. Tempered Fate misses everything. Trying to get into the back line. Uncool drops a lot of big burst on the automobile. He's going to have to look for big burst to put back with a, you know, a final spark. Nero rather, almost dies, but he just barely manages to get out of there alive. The Poppy passive is pretty good, as he gets about 50 armor and 26 magic resistance if he's below 40% health. So, Steadfast Presence, man, you cannot underestimate how much armor that gives you. Oh, a lot of damage onto the up clouds, but probably no actual Baron here, although it does to turrets, so nice to see Automobile sending a message.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Whoa, poking in onto Dokla. I'm not sure about that arcane shift forward. That's a little bit questionable. There is no laser. Actually, whoa, it is off cooldown. So here's what's going to happen. As soon as Lux lands a light binding, you're going to see Platoon use that True Shot Barrage and then Final Spark as well, both at the same time for a billion damage all on the same target. And in fact, used to see a lot of Chinese teams run this Lux Ezreal combo, so that basically you run some sort of like slow or hard CC, like a Malphite ult, and then you just layer that long range damage on top of it. In this case, it's a slow from Nunu Ice Balls, although I'm still super skeptical about the Nunu pick. I mean, it's comfort, sure, but it's not. I mean, the attack speed buff is kind of lost on this team. Nobody really needs attack speed from Waterloo. Either way, great objective control, and that did help them secure their first dragon of the game. Plus, I mean, attack speed on Ezreal is not bad. I'm not saying that, you know, AD carries don't need attack speed. I'm just saying there are other champions like, say, Callista, who may possibly benefit from that better. Perfect dodge again! Automobile 5, man, so good at avoiding that, man. Machine's going to replace us all one day. He is certainly doing his fair share of work there in the mid lane. Baron has been started down to about half health here, and I'm not sure if they'll be able to stick on there. True Shot Barrage all over everybody, and there's a nice laser bursting out Thundercats. Nero trying to get in there in the pit, but oh man, Baron's so low at this point. They're trying to get the steal, and Sherb, he's gonna grab it. Platoon gets lasered, but he actually arcane shifts in. Can he find the damage? He does, and gets a double kill before he gets crit down there, and the back by Dokla. Dokla, though, cleaning up this fight with a triple kill. And even though Baron is still secured on Sherb and Automobile, still, oh man, there's the flash, the Q. No crits there, and a nice cleanse to get away. Some barrels to put extra move speed down there for Gangplank. Oh, turn it back around for the laser, but not going to snipe anything. Just wanted to help clear out the minion wave just a little bit. I guess the steal on Baron, and as much as I was saying, well, I don't know why Nunu's in this game. That's why Nunu's in the game. Great steal potential. And is able to take the most valuable objective in the game away from UMass Amherst. What a game. Totally worth waiting through the extended downtime at the beginning to make it to this point. We're 32 minutes in. And already so much action going on. This is kind of amazing to watch. 12-9, and even through all this adversity, through such a rough start for Waterloo, they are hanging on and putting themselves in a great spot. So the build was actually a Sterax Gauge for Dokla. Sterax always makes sense with Trinity Force because Trinity Force, your next basic attack deals damage based on your base damage. And of course, Sterax gives you 25 additional base damage. And keep in mind, it's not 25 flat base damage, it's 25% additional base attack damage. So if you have a high base attack, you buy Sterax and it gives you a ton of AD there. So using the laser actually gets a nice hit there onto Up Clouds and clears the wave. But Waterloo actually not looking to be in a bad spot right now. And as crazy as Dokla's AD is, 350. They're on that AD. Automobile starting to get up there too with almost 600 ability power here. Needs a Void Staff in kind of a bad way. There is some magic resistance being built up. There's QSS for Gangplank, Spirit Visage, Abyssal Scepter, another QSS, and a Lock into the Iron Solaris. So you can see a lot of MR being built up for UMass. So yeah, definitely gonna need that Void Staff before Automobile returns to, super effectiveness. 600 AP is a lot, but the way defensive stats work with percentage damage reduction, it's actually gonna have a lot of that punch taken out of it. Platoon, 30 seconds from now, he'll be able to ult this wave and start it pushing the other way. But in the meantime, both teams just sieging up the mid lane. And with Baron buff minions, or Baron buffs still on 2 members of Waterloo, their push will be successful at taking down this turret. Oh man, no hits off of that Temper Fate again. Death's Daughter with a big hit onto Platoon. Takes him to about half health. Automobile 5 about half health there as well. Here come the spooky ghosts. They will slow too, but not for long, and it is a degrading slow, so shouldn't really matter all that much. A big push up to the top lane though, so UMass can just make their rotation up there to try to capitalize on that. There's a laser which instantly clears that mid wave, and it's so hard to push through a Lux. Just given how effective her laser is at killing off those creeps, and even still, like, the laser cooldown actually only has a 30-second CD at this point. So I mean, granted, there's 30% cooldown reduction. Is it 30%? Let's see. That is magic resistance. You can't actually see the CDR there. Unlucky, but it used to be. Oh, actually, you can see it there. They fixed it so that this panel actually does come up. So as far as cooldown reduction goes, max CDR there from Automobile probably gets the rest from runes. Luden's Echo, Death Cap, and really everything, but this Aether Wisp is what's questionable for me. I'm guessing that's going to be, I guess, Lichbane. But you could definitely use with some magic penetration. Not sure why that's not the next item, but I mean, to be fair, Automobile, best performing player on his team so far, so you really can't drop too much criticism there. It's like, well, I would have personally done this, and it's like, look, fam, he's 4-1-3 in a professional competitive game of League of Legends. Got the guy some slack, so I'm all down for that. See, Slayer's, yeah, just pretty much unharassed there by any of that Lux damage. Doesn't really care too much. He's super tanky, and the big question mark, at least for me, is, you know, A, can Automobile just burst someone down? There's a lot of, he's got double Quicksilver sashes, so not going to catch anybody out that way. Gangplank even can just eat his oranges to get out of that light binding. And really, like, the question for me is, like, how do you engage? So what is the way that Waterloo finds an engage? So they land a light binding. That's it. So as long as you've got Quicksilver Sash up, or your, you know, remove Scurvy, both of those are great, or all three of those rather, great ways of avoiding that. So you really have to get either like a Neuro Poppy flank, or this Sherb just like walks up and starts ice blasting people. I don't know, but it's gonna be it's gonna be difficult. That being said, there's a superior wave clear and poke ability for Waterloo, so they've definitely got the option to just sit at turrets and siege them up, which you have to imagine is what they're going to be looking to do. Ulting up at the top lane, Flash Force out, there's the big laser, whoa, that damage Automobile. Taken out on Cool. Nice flank in there, the rotation pretty good. Hit on to 3 there with that Tempered Fate. A big Death Star around on top and flashes away from there. There's 1 flash, there's 2 flashes, 3 flashes away from that, and I guess that's one way to escape there. Slayers wants to make more happen, but should probably look at disengaging there. A nice Cosmic Binding hits both carries. Really beautiful there. And Thundercats, whoa, has been making his name known here. Some good Tempered Fate, but some equally good dodges there. Nice Magical Journey to get back underneath tower, and even though that Light Binding lands, the Up Clouds disjoints it with a nice Relentless Pursuit away. Another laser misses everything, but with so much pressure, and keep in mind the ever-present Banner of Commanded minion up in the top lane. Second tier turret falls there as well, and now backing up to Baron. Gonna be very careful if everyone recalls here for Waterloo. There's always that temptation that Massachusetts may just rush it, just walk right up to it, and probably don't want to let them just do that for free. Tempered Fate misses that time around. I feel like Bars has pretty much thrown those out on cooldown. It's a relatively short cooldown for as strong a skill as it is. However, here come in all those recalls from guys like Automobile, Sherb, all heading back to base. Platoon, let's check out the amount of gold he has. Yeah, 1,600 gold in his inventory, and he has an incredibly strong build. About the only thing this build is missing is, I think a lot of times the blue build Ezreals will go for a Blade of the Ruined King for the on-hit damage added to the Q, but pretty much just semantics there. You get more AD from the Bloodthirster, obviously, so will make your Qs stronger in that way. I've even seen some Ezreals double buy Trinity Force on top of their Iceborne Gauntlet. I think that's pretty terrible, so you probably shouldn't expect to see that happen too much. But, I mean, last item is always sort of a flex item depending on what you need. There's a binding that lands on the Slayers. However, unfortunately, even with that Lich Bane that has been bought by Lux, it's not really going to there's no way that she can realistically deal damage to Slayers because she doesn't have a Void Staff, and I think that lack of a Void Staff is really going to be punishing a lot of the Lux damage. Even if she catches somebody like up in the Up Clouds, she's just going to QSS the Light Binding and should be able to escape before the laser hits him. But Slayer's tunneling forward aggressively, huge crits out here. This is a full build Gangplank, by the way. 400 attack damage. I mean, that's some Jhin 80 levels right there. Dokla is a monster right now, but has to actually walk up and Q in order to be effective. So definitely need to keep an eye on this guy. He currently is sitting at, yeah, max CDR, which he gets from all of the cooldown reduction items he's built. No, just kidding. He gets most of it from Essence Reaver, that is giving him 30% CDR just because of his crit chance. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Unlike Uncool, who's kind of struggled this game, but at least he knows that he needs to buy a Void Staff in order to... Excuse me, in order to deal damage. Still recovering, still a little bit under the weather, so cut me a little bit of slack there. Plus, I'm woefully without my co-caster Fekez, who is also under the weather and cannot be here with us tonight. So instead you get to listen to my my melodious, dulcet tones. June pushing Slayers out of the little Raptor Brush, not really scared too much at all. Whoa, Big Jet Stutter! And there is a nice Tempered Fate to catch out too. Look at those crits! Dokla critting down Automobile before this fight even starts. It's 2 kills already, now 3 kills, and that's the only engage it takes. June trying to get the disengage there. Platoon will not be able to escape from that Chilling Smite. Knocked up, crit down. Slayers with the kill there onto Platoon, and these barrels are massive. Dokla almost single-handedly winning that fight along with a beautiful Tempered Fate. Thundercats, whoa, man, we had to play 43 minutes for it, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Or at least that's the way the inhibitor crumbles, and with pretty huge death timers, all they need is a minion wave. They can push in on for these base turrets. Instead, they're just going to trade tank these turrets. Let Slayers kind of help them out there. Wait for this minion wave to come in. And these turrets are not going to last very much longer. It's 20 seconds left until the respawns come in for the rest of Waterloo. And off of just one engage, you win the fight, you win the game. University of Massachusetts Amherst take game number 1 versus Waterloo. Wow, what an incredible game. Incredible series, man. We've got a best of 3 coming, so it's not over yet. Waterloo dropped game number 1. University of Massachusetts Amherst, they're pretty good at that gangplank. I was talking about it in picks and bans before the game. He's a pretty good champion right now. Final count on Parlay, in case you guys were wanting some stats. A total of 2,500 gold gained off of Parlay this game, so... definitely some Scrooge McDuck action going on there. Big fan of UMass Amherst as they take game number 1. We'll be taking a quick break before we get into game number 2. So if you guys are interested in sticking around, we certainly appreciate it. Disable your ad block. We'll be running a few commercials. We'll come back here in just a second for more CSL League of Legends action. Don't want to miss it. Stick around. We'll be right back.
My skin. How could love wear so thin? I'm sinking in the hollow ground. Nothing can stop me wanting you somehow. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't be alone. much too early, or it's far too late. Maybe I'm too old now, or just afraid that you'll walk away. Just a glance is all it took for me to fall, but you don't even know that you were looking at me. And when you smile, smile with your eyes that pass right over me, like I'm as out of place as I feel to be. You're a little too close, but too far away. It's much too early, or it's far too late. Maybe I'm too old now, I'm just afraid that you'll walk away. You're across the room from me, but it's an ocean wide, and the current's pulling us, dragging me aside. Or you're a constellation, and I'm just a star, blinking in the universe, but you'll never notice me at all.
Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hope you guys are doing well. We are back with game number 2 of University of Waterloo versus University of Massachusetts Amherst. I'm being told to remove the H. I have this deep phonetic sense of justice that makes me want to just say Amherst. But then again, one of my Australian friends was telling me about there's this town on the west coast called Melbourne. You guys may have heard of it. They call it Melbourne. Same thing with Brisbane or Brisbane. So I can't really just phonetically pronounce anything. So I'm gonna go with Amherst, and hopefully that appeases all of the people out there who actually know how to pronounce the word. We're about to go into Champion Select for game number 2. So let's go ahead and kick it over here. UMass swapping sides, of course, and they're, of course, up 1-0 after an incredible breakout gang-playing performance from Dokla, and, of course, Thundercats, whoa, landed some of the sickest tempered fates I've seen in a while, so definitely big shout-outs there. Looking forward to seeing some more of that, but we will not be seeing more of the Gangplank. That is the first ban there for Waterloo. And yeah, that's going to do it for picks and bans. The same bans for University of Massachusetts. That is a no surprise there. You got to keep Graves and Kindred out of the Sherb's hands. But already Platoon locking in a very strong top lane pick. It should be noted that Dokla for that last game was actually the sub top laner, and this, or no, it was not sub top laner. It was the I believe the sub top laner, or no, it's the starting top laner. We're going to use the sub top laner, but okay, there we go. Sorry, I had some roster issues to work out. I was like, because initially we're gonna wait for use their sub, then we're gonna wait for the starters. Anyway, either way, Dokla, strong performance, but now he has to go up against one of the strongest top laners in the meta right now, and that is going to be a Fiora. So if you guys have as many struggles as I do playing against Fiora, maybe we'll learn how to answer those here tonight. And of course, with no Gragas ban, trading the Gragas ban away for a Gangplank ban, that should be the pick locked in here for Slayers. He's been practicing this Gragas pick a lot in solo queue, and has a very good win records with it, so I'm expecting some success from that. It is what's going to get locked in, and keep in mind, Gragas did get some love here in the most recent patch 6.3 changes, in case you guys didn't check that out. The biggest thing for me about, as far as Gragas changes, was that his barrel roll, the slow duration, is always 2 seconds. So if you pop somebody with a barrel roll, they're slowed for 2 seconds, and that's a pretty big deal. Plus, Drunken Rage actually hits in an area of effect now, so if you hit something, everything around that within 250 units gets hit by it as well. So that's the reason behind the Gragas pick, and why you might see a resurgence of Gragas jungle, because he actually clears really fast now. And that was kind of the struggle for Gragas, is that he would go into the jungle, and the enemy jungler would just clear it so much faster that they could get out to gank, they could counter jungle, they could go get the Rift Scuttle or whatever, and he'd be stuck killing minions, so, or monsters rather. So maybe that's been fixed, maybe it hasn't, but we've got both top laners locked in already, the Quinn and Fiora. With its Quinn pick, you can actually run a triple AD carry composition, with Corki in the mid lane and like an Ezreal AD carried down bottom, with something along the lines of a Braum support. And I think triple AD carry is definitely the way to go if you're looking to play more of like a poke lane kind of idea. And as opposed to last game, that's what Waterloo were trying to run. They had that big Lux poke, the Ezreal poke, and it was super effective. Automobile's Lux just kind of blew my mind last time. One way to stop that would be with a Ziggs, although Ziggs does have some issues, and I think primarily that issue is that, you know, champions like Malphite exist in the game, so you can kind of just like click on him and be like, hey, I want to kill this guy, and you don't need minions. Plus, the other reason that Ziggs is not super effective is that now with dragons offering you percent turret damage reduction, if you walk up to a turret with 5 dragons on, you don't actually take damage from it, and that's the whole like mystery of Ziggs, is that, you know, turrets theoretically you don't want to fight underneath them. Now with that damage reduction buff from dragon, it's not quite as big a deal. Plus, Baron buff minions take 0 damage from Ziggs, so I just really hate Ziggs. Apologies. So definitely want to keep that champion out of my games. But we've already got 2 AD carries here locked in, Quinn and Corki. Last pick could definitely be an Ezreal. Would not be unsurprised to see that this game around. We've seen it locked in here. Could definitely be like a Lucian, I would imagine. So we've got Ezreal versus Lucian. We had it in game number 1. Could possibly see the same thing here again. Last 2 picks, though, for Waterloo. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they want to, do to pump up the jams this time around. The biggest thing for last game was that their mid lane a little bit lackluster, and now it's going to be, whoa, Cassiopeia. I'm not sure you really want to blind pick a Cassiopeia. Now, granted, the expectation is that you'll be playing against Corki in the mid lane, but this could always be an AD carry Corki, and hovering over an Ahri, it looks like it will be an Ahri in the mid lane versus Cassiopeia. And as mobile as Ahri is, that does mean she can dodge out a lot of Cassiopeia's poison. But instead, wow, anything you can do, I can do better. Maybe hovering over this Lux for a takeaway to grab that away from Automobile 5, saying, hey, you played this last game, I'm pretty good at it too. The Lux takeaway would be interesting. I'm not sure it necessarily synergizes with the team all that well. I mean, you have this poke synergy with Corki. That's certainly going to be very effective, but Orianna also equally effective. You just body slam Gragas into the middle of the fight and get the shockwave off that way. I'm not sure how well that synergizes with Gragas' ultimate, though. That seems kind of counterproductive, but those are your teams. On both sides, Waterloo swapping it over, and hopefully the blue side will be just as kind to them as it was to UMass Amherst in game number 1. That's going to do it for picks and bans. I'll let you guys look over the champions while we head into game. But before we do, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. So you definitely want to go check them out and thank them for supporting us. You can see them right there on your screen. We've got Twitch, Brain Gear, and Asus Republic of Gamers making possible our trip to DreamHack for the CSL Grand Finals. Go check them out. They are all great sponsors. And more importantly, I mean, they're great products too, like Brain Gear. Yeah, it feels like your brain is on Cloud 9, let's put it that way. It keeps it healthy, keeps it focused, and really just helps give you the clarity you need to win your games. Twitch, I mean, I watch most of my stuff on Twitch too, along with most of you guys most likely, so big fans of them for being a big fan of us. And of course, Asus Republic of Gamers, ROG, makes some of the world's best gaming PCs, laptops, and monitors. So go check them out and see if there's anything that you're interested in over there. But until then, we're going to head out to a quick break. If you guys have any predictions for this game, let us know. You can head on over to Twitter at @CStarLeague and let us know what you guys think about the teams, the games, the players, and who you think will win tonight. And of course, make sure to check out all of our CSL channels by going to twitch.tv/team/CStarLeague and seeing if there's more esports action at the collegiate level out there that you guys are interested in. We've got a whole host of different esports out there, and hope you guys will go check that out. In the meantime, quick commercial break coming up, so stick around. We'll be right back with game number 2, Waterloo versus UMass. While we bleep our way into this game, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure about that start. You definitely do not want to start with your knockup, but looking for a first blood here that may be most valuable. Leg probably should have walked around the Baron, into the Baron pit and then flashed over the wall if he was looking to go super hard in on that. But man, now Sherb has to do his jungle with an elastic slingshot, which, spoiler alert, has a 22-second cooldown. Gonna need some help, that's for sure. So, some options are to start with a lane swap, double jungle, and then transition from there. And that looks like exactly what they're gonna do. Waterloo, good to see them reacting to that, saying, hey, you know, this is a a game that we're not totally on board with. We might have some struggles, but definitely need to see that as it transpires. Starting out with the Gromp camp and then moving on. The Wolves will be started over here, Sherb and Lake there to start that one out. So, yeah, they'll be able to knock that one up, but this is going to be a slow jungle trip for sure, or at least much slower than it used to be. And, of course, on the other side, this will be an unscouted 2v1 lane swap up to the top lane. So, Dokla, as abusive as that solo lane can be versus, range versus melee, Quinn, really strong in that department, won't be able to make that happen this time around as the lane swap gets initiated. Platoon going in there, Ignite being proc there, Dokla looking for the outplay, Summoner heal the outplay. Oh my gosh, Platoon, first blood in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Didn't even need his support there, just walks up. I like my 80 carries be able to pick up 1v1 kills early on, and wow, Dokla, Ignite even, limiting the effectiveness of that Summoner heal. Platoon didn't even need it, just had just enough to be able to pick up this kill, and together with Lake, they're going to be starting taking down this top lane turret. What is this game? Oh my goodness. Now, Lake stepping in here to the top lane for Waterloo is, granted a slight substitution, but it'll be interesting to see how he deals, not even against his lane opponent, but as far as strategically, how you make the lane swaps, how you deal with having less CS early on, and you can see what Dokla is doing. He just wants to get near the minions to get experience as they die, so that, he can get that level 2 and isn't completely denied everything. There's a 2,000 range bubble around champions that you can get experience from, and the turret actually stays alive because not enough minions had built it up. Finding Sherb there in the jungle, though, maybe this is a place where Dokla can put in some damage. However, Sherb actually does have red buff, and so that will make this very difficult. Although, yeah, okay, there's follow up there, so don't want to go in on Sherb. He's going to be just doing his jungle camps here at June. Pretty devastatingly strong against the level 2 Dokla. Man, I did not expect this game to start that way. Like, the reason that you have supports for 80 carries is because theoretically they are weak early on. However, Platoon disagrees with that, and picking up first blood, my goodness, that is certainly one way to start the game. Make sure we got our champions in order on both sides, as now a 4 CS Dokla loses his turret at 4 minutes 20 seconds into the game. Of course, on the other side, we have seen a counter turret taken, so no surprises there. One turret apiece for both teams. But it's actually going to be really interesting to see how this rotation works, because now the idea is that you use your trio lane. Oh, they're stopping the recalls. That's what I expect to see. Man, Platoon is angry. Picks up that 1v1 early, and now Dokla, it's like, are they still in there? I don't know, but he's about to know. The flash, the exhaust, Dokla is about to take a trip to Strugglesville. That is not the way he wants to start his game, and devastatingly enough, he's playing against a top laner that has no items. No items. I'd like to try to reiterate that a little bit. So the way you play League of Legends, you use your base to spend gold to purchase items. He has every bit of gold that he started this game with. 1,900 bucks, and he heads back to base for the first time this game to buy. Man, these are next level strats, man. Okay, that's the way you play League of Legends there. You get a kill, you push down your turret, you get 20 CS, help out your team, rotate through the jungle, and then you buy your items. That's that next level play. So yeah, you got 80 carries picking up kills level 1, you got no item starts, and this is going to be the Titanic Hydra start for Lake. He's going to be building a tankier Fiora with like a Black Cleaver after that, not going for like Ravenous Hydra into Youmuu's Ghost Blade or something along those lines, which is a very aggressive start for Fiora. Possibly a reaction to playing against, Dokla, who is a very aggressive champion. And oh man, Lake. Okay, cheeky though that start may have been, he is now going to have to defend his turret against 3 champions, and that's not going to go well. Now, granted, Riposte is a pretty good spell. Like, let's not get it twisted. That's how Fiora wins a lot of her matchups, is just through good Riposte usage. But now, gonna have some issues here if she does get dove. However, after taking down the Scuttle Crab, Slayer's, yeah, okay, he is gonna make his way up towards the top lane, or the mid lane, or the top lane. Where's he going? It looks like mid is where the pings are going out there. Most likely looking for that. The Shockwave whiffs onto Automobile. Unlucky positioning there, and because Slayers is not helping kill this turret and champion top lane, this is actually going to be a turret takedown for Waterloo in the bottom. Whoa, Automobile taking a lot of poke damage at Thunderlords on top. Oh, nice steal there. Dokla gets the benefit from that, and even though Sherb was able to smite it, I don't think he'll be able to steal this blue buff away. That is most likely not going to work out. Although, with this backup, Junhyung and Platoon pushing this up there. Sherb's going to go in. Oh, bounced away from Dokla. Great spot on that. But the blue buff actually will get stolen away thanks to Platoon and June. It's the June Platoon. They invade the jungle and get blue buff to Ezreal. Oh, that's actually going to be really, really strong at doing things like this dragon. Doesn't really stand a chance. Blue buff, can he take it? He gets it over the wall! Lake! My goodness. Okay, that's the way you do it. He dashes over the wall and blindly gets the lunge kill on the blue buff to steal it away. Alright, fam, that's the way you do it. 2 blue buffs for the blue team. Waterloo on top this game. But 1,000 gold lead here at 8.5 minutes. Dokla finds himself down 0-2. But luckily does not actually have to fight any champions currently. He and his opposing top laner respectively in side lanes of their own. So just chilling out. And that's usually what you see after these 2v1 starts from lane swaps, is that, players like to disperse to their side lanes to sort of recover from having such a low economy start to the game. Rift Herald buff, though, was taken, and buff given to Uncool, so using those Rift Herald buffed minions to help defend this mid lane, actually not a terrible idea. And, I mean, if Uncool is going to miss his ultimate earlier, you might as well just ult the wave to clear it out. He was very, I think he actually did that once in the last game as Victor, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was trying to hit a champion, but missed that up. Corki, package in hand, or in rocket ship, whatever you want to call that. I think Corki's gyrocopter actually does have a name, if I'm not mistaken, in the lore, but I cannot remember exactly what his gyrocopter name is. Either way, strong pushes from both teams. 2 turrets taken apiece on both side lanes, but wow, Platoon going forward with that aggressive damage. Oh, nice dodge. The up clouds. Able to get out of there without taking too much punishment, but here comes the invade again. Junhyung and Platoon invading into the enemy jungle. Slayer's almost going down there. Sherb forced to flash out. Dokla might have kill potential here. Sherb is actually a little bit further away there. Oh no, Dokla. Whoa, nice usage of those heightened senses to be able to scout things out. However, turns out he's going to be joining the Mile High Club as he winds up going down while knocked up. Sherb helping him out there. Nice cosmic binding there by Thundercats. Whoa! The F-Clouds doesn't want to push too far forward up to this turret. Sherp's pretty low, but man, he's getting a lot done with as little health as he has.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Turret going down in the mid lane is the first disparity we've seen in turrets all game long. Previously, we've just seen turrets be taken pretty similarly on both sides of the map, but with that mid turret going down, the big significance with mid turrets now these days are that because death timers are so long now, as the game progresses, you really have to be careful about losing your mid turret, because that means that if you die, the enemy team can pretty much just push down mid and get as much as they can. So if you lose your mid turret, that means that you're probably shaping up to maybe lose an inhibitor if you lose a team fight around like 25-30 minutes. You're looking at losing inhibitors if you've lost outer turrets in the mid lane, just because of how fast it is to get down the lane. So it's some stuff to think about as the game draws on, but you know, we're only 12 minutes in, and even though it is a 4-0 start for Waterloo, kind of getting some revenge from last game. You know, it's certainly not over by any means. We just saw how long Waterloo were able to hold on in that last game, and I mean this one, kind of a mirror image of last game. Dokla, not, or I guess the opposite. Is that what mirrors do? They reverse things. True Shot Barrage, or not True Shot Barrage. That's still in there, but Platoon gets hit by the Cosmic Binding, the Tempered Fate, and the Rockets from Corki. The Up Clouds taking him out there and you know, taking a lot of gold along with it. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, we do check out the gold count to see who is the most valuable player in this game. Yeah, it's the 80 carries, Platoon and the Up Clouds. The Up Clouds just slightly behind, having picked up one less kill and a couple less assists. Dokla getting some eyes in the sky up in the top lane, but I don't think he likes what he sees. Still running around the enemy jungle. Look at all these pink wards. There's so much vision. This is like, I don't know, top lane's like Walmart surveillance cameras. I think there are some Walmart stores that have, I think, sometimes more cameras than they do employees. If they, you know, are facing difficulties securing their assets. So it's kind of interesting to see all that ward coverage. Oh no, the True Shot Barrage was so close! Almost about to kill that blue buff, unfortunately unable to get that steal away. We've actually seen a lot of blue buff steals already today. Saw Lake able to steal his away to keep it from getting stolen, just barely with that lunge. And of course on the other side we saw the Up Clouds steal away try to steal blue buff away, but Platoon is actually able to snipe that one out. So nice to see blue buffs being prioritized this game, especially on Automobile. Let's go ahead and check his Serpent stacks on his passive aspect of the Serpent. He is up to, actually did not catch that, 200 stacks currently. He needs 250 to be able to access tier number 2, where he starts getting heals back a little bit better. So we'll see what's left for that as we wait for it. The dragon going down. This should be the second dragon to Waterloo. It was really on top of just about every game they could possibly be on. They've got dragons. They lost the Rift Scuttler, but they've been able to push down more turrets even without it. So still very, very effective in that department. And Automobile 5 still unscathed in the mid lane, and has a CS advantage versus one of the highest CSing champions of the game. Unlucky Lake does get cut out 2v1. It's nice to see Dokla put himself on the board, picking up a kill there in that 1v2. Big engage onto the Up Clouds. He's going to try to Valkyrie himself forward. Gets bounced way back in there, and Sherb taking him out by bouncing on him, turning him to stone. Thundercats, whoa, will stay alive thanks to some zoning barrels from Slayers, but he's not going to be happy about it. But that does mean that Automobile 5 does not have his ultimate. Makes him very easy to engage on and kill, so just has to be careful about that. Trying to keep an eye on everything. Multiple eyes. Did you know in China, in Chinese League of Legends, they actually call wards eyes, and they have different colored eyes that they put in the jungle. I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? Because you know they're looking out for things. There's literally an eye on this ward, so hey, maybe that's where they get it from. But the biggest thing to keep an eye on is going to be the ward coverage. Some incredible coverage here from University of Massachusetts Amherst. They've been able to keep control of their top jungle, of their bottom jungle, really just about everything they could want. Red buff smote away their Slayers, able to pick that one up. I'm sure they would have rather it gone to Dokla so that he could split push more effectively with that. But now Sherb, okay, will not be able to kill off that ward, and so Dokla will be aware that his turret is facing currently some struggles. The technical difficulties up here. The turret gets very, very low, and the minions should be able to take it down. They are able to take it out. Knock up onto the up clouds, bouncing it backwards. The flash, the Valkyrie back, but it just doesn't matter. Nice retreat there, but it looks like the fight may be turning back around there. Slayer is about to go down. The flash in there. Lake trying to take him out, and there's Platoon to snipe him out from behind. Very, very low health bars here. This could be a pentakill. Platoon grabs a double. Platoon's gonna, not be able to grab the penta as that kill was taken by Lake. But wow, that was a little bit too close for comfort there. And an incredibly strong performance here from Waterloo. Not over yet, but certainly looking like Waterloo want to make it that way. First base turn of the game will be going down, and possibly even an inhibitor to follow. However, with low health bars on Waterloo themselves, they should be backing out of here to get out of dodge safe and sound. And please check the bush for the pink ward. Yes, disables it. Sure, we'll be able to take that out. Automobile, in that last fight, a little bit sketchy positioning. If you look at the itemization, he actually went for a move speed build, so Boots of Swiftness and Luden's Echo. This is a little bit controversial, certainly not the build you'll see on a lot of Cassiopeias who are very prone to things like Rylai's Crystal Scepter, Seraph's Embrace. Those are both big first items that you usually see completed. Dokla down here in the bottom lane, I'm not sure he's really on 1v1 potential yet, although he does have a Youmuu's Ghostblade. But yeah, there's no one really that he has good matchups against at this point. That's the problem with Quinn. Like, if you get behind, you really struggle for your identity. Like, you can split push and move around the map really fast, but what do you do when you get where you're going? Ideally, you run around and kill a lot of minions with split pushing, but what happens when you actually have to fight an enemy champion? That's the struggle. Okay, we've got about 25 seconds to kill this Rift Herald. If they can't do it in that time, then it's going to despawn for Baron, and it will get killed just about 15 seconds ahead of time. Lake will be the beneficiary of that buff. Like I said, Dokla is still kind of struggling for his identity. His identity is currently to kill off this Rift Scuttler. I don't know about that, but he'll be trying to chase that guy around. And yeah, does finally wind up getting it. Although his pink ward will get cleared out. And University of Massachusetts Amherst, they are kind of trying to figure out how to stay alive here. They've done good with defending their middle turrets, their second tier turrets rather, with the exception of that bottom lane. But oh, dashing forward, Lake gets that kill with riposte, buffering that as he dashes in with that lunge. And really spectacular performance. Swapping out the top laners makes a world of difference, especially when you're able to get a kill with no items. I feel like that should have been the telltale sign that revealed that Lake was probably going to do pretty well this game. Okay, Lake, we get it. You're hot stuff. You can head back to base now. And we're back to the Lake show. Dokla should check this bush before he comes in there, but will he overextend into Lake? Youmu's used. Dashing on in. Oh my gosh, Dokla, don't do it. He is trying to dash out of here. Oh, the riposte not going to land through the wall. Dokla's got a good flash, and of course those swifty boots. You got 3 speeds versus 1 speed. It's not going to cut it. 65 movement speed versus 25. Yeah, there you go. Did you know, back in the day, boots used to be a whole lot less fast, and, I think it was that boots were incredibly fast back in the day, and champions had very low base movement speed. So what was actually done is that most champions, if not all champions, had their base movement speed raised, and then boots were less of a, they reduced the movement speed on boots. So you wouldn't have that down there. Oh my gosh, Dokla taking so much damage, dashing forward. There's the grand challenge. Oh my gosh, Platoon sniping it out again. Knock up there and a double kill for Platoon. Oh my goodness, Sherb, he's even bouncing through the turrets, taking that one up for a little bit longer than I guess he wanted to. Automobile does not get the ultimate that he wanted. But in the top lane, that inhibitor, not long for this world. It's going down, uncool, very low. Platoon Arcane shifting in. Will get knocked under those Nexus turrets. He's trying to find the 1v1. He does have that Sterax gauge. What? How did he get that item in his inventory? Well, obviously he put it there, but that is a very big Ezreal. And I guess if you're Arcane shifting in like that, you better have a Sterax gauge to keep yourself on top of things. 6, 1, and 4 after it's all said and done. Even gets that kill with an Arcane shift. Platoon on point this game, definitely living up to the hype. A little bit of downtime for a brief moment as we wait to see what each team are trying to really do there. Automobile finds a little bit of poison damage there onto Thundercats. Whoa! Wow! But look at these Ezreal pokes in behind the turret. Catches Thundercats, but Uncool just cannot stay in town. Oh my goodness, that Sterax actually makes a big difference. Oh no! He's going for it, misses the Q, and he's gonna try to stay in here as long as he can. Unbreakable there. Platoon gonna get pounded against the wall, but he's got so much damage he just doesn't care. Lake's a little bit far forward there too, but they're just working on this bottom turret, working it down, and that will be the second base turret of the game, going down 13-3, the kill score. We look to see all 3 base turrets getting taken out. Dokla, he looks to go for it. He's making the rounds. Walks up to Ezreal, takes half his health and damage, walks away. Not sure there's too much for Dokla to do this game. Shut down the Quinn, and you're going to have a good time. There's the engage, knocking up the up clouds. Takes a Twin Fangs, but is forced back to base. Even still, Two-Shot Barrage doesn't really connect with all that much. And these Nexus turrets are going down soon. TM so low. Just hit it once, and it does fall. Second Nexus turret about to fall here as well as Dokla. Just trying to figure out what's about to happen here. Tempered Fate does not hit, and yeah, Nexus probably won't be lasting all that much longer. Dokla, don't do it! You have so much to live for! University of Massachusetts take game number 1, but Waterloo fire back. And in spectacular fashion, we are going to a game number 3. So thanks for watching, guys. Really hope you enjoyed that game. We've got one more game coming your way here tonight, so you don't want to miss it. So coming up next, we'll have Game 3 between University of Waterloo and University of Massachusetts Amherst. They are tied at 1-1 with Game 3 coming up next. Stick around. There's more CSL action coming up after this.
Wasted moments, full of potential that torments, an angel in disguise. But he can see your Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's a whistle in the catacombs, a paradox. Oh, he's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that time forgot. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. You let her go, catacombs. You let her go, let her go, catacombs. You let her go. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. Chains that you pull away. I feel the fear when you look at me. But we've had enough of love. Is this not enough? Let me feel it deep inside.
ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Collegiate Star League's League of Legends season. My name is Reed Rapid Melton, and I'll be your host and caster, whatever you want to call me, for tonight. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves and enjoying the games. They have been pretty crazy. Hope you guys are ready for a crazy game number 3. If you have any comments on the games, let us know at Star League on Twitter. If you have any comments for me, let me know on Twitter at RapidCasting. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Certainly appreciate you tuning in. Let's go ahead and get into champion picks and bans for game number 2. So we head in here. Just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Twitch, Brain Gear, and Asus ROG for making game 3s like this possible. Of course, both the teams for making it possible. Game 1, UMass Amherst, their top laner went off, but after swapping top laners, it was a totally different story for Waterloo as we go ahead and change, swapping sides once again. University of Massachusetts are tied at 1-1 versus Waterloo, and interesting to see the bans. So this time we're going to ban out a Fiora and a Gangplank, both against Dokla. So won't be seeing those up there in the top lane. A Rek'Sai ban versus Slayers, but I think he's probably just going to default to the Gragas jungle again. However, nothing banned against, Lake still has most of his champion pool available. And of course the exact same bans from UMass Amherst. They have not changed their bans at all in this series. So I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And here we go. First pick is definitely going to be that Ezreal. No one's going to let Platoon have that champion again. They're like, okay, you won. You proved to us you're good at Ezreal. But he's also really good at Lucian. So Ezreal, Lucian, we saw that matchup in game number 1 on the other side. So definitely going to expect to see that as a lock-in here for Platoon. We saw it top lane once in EU LCS. And even though it did work pretty well there, we're not going to see it again, most likely top lane. Just locking in the bottom lane, Waterloo, putting themselves in a good spot. Keep in mind, whenever you're on the blue side, you get the benefit of first picking a champion like that Ezreal, something you just really want to take away. But when you're on the red side, you get the opportunity to counterpick one matchup, and most likely that's going to be the top lane. Given how strong Dokla was for Amherst in game 1, you probably want to keep him from getting to that level. Again, so next couple of picks coming out here. I don't know, Elise is up, and of course it's one of the strongest junglers around right now, but I don't necessarily know how Gragas fares. He did just recently get buffed. Drunken Rage gonna help him out, dealing area of effect damage now to camps. And yeah, that's what I was talking about. So Elise is super strong, everybody knows that. But nobody really knows about Gragas. He's only been out for like less than a week with this new patch, and so may possibly be back to his old jungle dominating strategies. We'll see whether or not that was worth it, because now we can just give Sherb Elise. Although Sherb plays some weird jungle champions, that's for sure. Went with a Zac in that last game and was incredibly effective, so can't really knock the Zac pick, but certainly not the the highest win rate jungler you're looking for. I think it's been picked a total of like I think twice in EU LCS, which we just got a chance to see earlier on today. So not a lot of love for the Zac, but could be the pick that Sherb wants to go for again. Played Nunu in game number 1, another champion that you really don't see all that often. But yeah, I can't imagine you really pass up the opportunity to get Elise. Rek'Sai used to be out there in game number 2, but that's been banned this game as well. And Lake actually locks in the Malphite. Now, this could be kind of a bait, and they could actually, Waterloo could be running mid lane Malphite as a kind of a throwback to, I guess, I think Alex Ich was a really big AP mid Malphite player back in the day. But gonna go Trundle against this. Would be a good top lane matchup. Trundle really doesn't care too much what he matches up against, as long as there's not too much abuse early on when he's weak. Probably will be okay with that. But that still does leave the mid lane open and unpicked for Waterloo, so they do get the opportunity to counterpick that. Lux should be a fairly contested pick, as we did see a very strong performance from really both mid laners on that champion. So I feel like you just lock in the Lux for safety. Oh, Ziggs. Ziggs, we were talking about you last champion select. Did get a few buffs this patch, and oh, there it is. It's going to get locked in. So if you guys are wondering what's up with Ziggs, he did get a buff to his ultimate ability. So Mega Inferno Bomb has a different way that it judges damage. So the base damage on Mega Inferno Bomb got buffed by 50, 75, or 50, 75, and then 100 damage at max rank. So instead of dealing 500 damage, deals 600 damage max rank. And the ability power ratio got buffed on it. So instead of being 0.9, it's 1.1. So some big buffs there. However, the fall off radius is about is a little bit higher. So if you don't hit dead center with it, it's going to be dealing percentage less damage. So I think it's actually a nerf unless you're super precise with it. So just pointing that out there. And against the Ziggs, we're going to see that Cassiopeia. Just like we saw last game, it's coming back. So this is going to be really interesting to watch Waterloo and see whether or not they can keep the comeback coming. So they will have to Cassiopeia Malphite. Some interesting situation there. And I like the Malphite pick, especially against Ziggs, which was ironically picked after it. Malphite works super well against Ziggs, because, Ziggs tries to say, haha, you guys don't have minions, you can't come siege this turret. Malphite says no, and just clobbers them. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on this and see how that matchup evolves once teamfight phase comes around. But we do still have to get through lane phase. It's going to be interesting to see with both of these junglers at least super strong. Gragas might be super strong, who knows? Well, Slayers does, because he's been playing a lot of that champion recently. So we'll let him stick around and show us while we take it out to a quick commercial break. So you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game number 3 between University of Massachusetts Amherst and Waterloo. Of course, a big shout out to our sponsors at Twitch, Brain Gear, and Asus ROG. They're helping us out this season. We could not do it without them. We couldn't do it without you guys. So thanks for watching. Stick around, and we'll be right back.
From Sesame, it's your time
Look back upon the night. It's always dark before the dawn. So simple, now you see. Strike the match to set you free.
and gentlemen, we are starting out with a little bit of an interesting start as both teams know where each other are. Very strong jungle invade here by UMass, but yeah, welcome everybody. Game number 3 coming up. It's been a long day of CSL, but all the games have been good. We've seen comebacks, and I guess it's the opposite of a comeback. Strong performances. Either way for both teams, and that's going to lead us here to a tied game here in game number 3, double jungle. Should be what we see, at least out of Waterloo. UMass have not shown a propensity for this, so we'll see if they just opt to put Dokla in a 1v2 again. I don't think he would be too happy about that. Walking around, he actually could work on stealing away this red buff, and I think that's what he's gonna try to do. Oh, he's just gonna steal one of the small minions and walk back to lanes. So I mean, sometimes you just gotta get what you gotta get. And they're going for actually a suboptimal lane swap here. Where does Dokla go? This is so confusing. Like, what's his plan here? Dokla's caught between a rock and a hard place. Might be caught between a snake and a hard place. He's going in for the gank onto Automobile 5. She's just gonna get extra movement speed, and because she's level 2, she can actually fight that. Dokla he's in interesting spot, as now finally Upclouds and Thundercats, yeah, whoa, make it up to the top lane. They are down substantial amounts of CS, and we'll still have to see how well that or how much that impacts them, because that is a pretty rough start to the early game. Dokla finally gets into a lane by himself, and so he should be able to hit level 2 pretty soon. The only problem is that Lake's already level 2 from double jungling, so he's just gonna teleport down to the bottom lane. Doesn't even have to teleport if he doesn't want to, but he will down there to the bottom lane to kind of chill out in that matchup. As now both top and bottom lane matchups are somewhat behind. Scuttle Crab was not stolen. Sherb was able to finish that one out despite the explosive cask. Pings out onto Slayers to let everyone know where he is, so there's no mystery there. Lake level 3 is skilled up all of his skills. A lot of times you'll see Malphite prioritize either Seismic Shard or Ground Slam at level 3 instead of spreading the skill points out, because the general consensus is that Brutal Strikes is not super great unless you just really need extra armor early on, or you're planning on building a lot of it early. And while yes, you may still be planning on that, that's the other thing about Doran's shield. It doesn't actually give you any armor anymore. Back in the day, back in my day, it did actually used to give you armor and health, which means it was a super effective item. And in fact, all of the Doran's items have been pretty heavily nerfed a lot. Okay, there's Slayers. Backs out, Cocoon lands, repels out, forces the flash. Slayers does not want to give those double buffs up, so he will back away, flash down. Rift Scuttler versus Rift Spider. Sherb should be able to take this one down pretty quickly. As, yep, there he goes. Will be able to venomously bite it out. And now looking back towards the mid lane, knows it's unwarded probably pretty accurately. Coming in with the Cocoon, needs to snipe this one out, hits it at long range. Uncool knows he's going to need to barrier that one out. And yeah, will not die there, but that barrier is the difference between life and death. Uncool barely able to survive, barely able to survive even. So, nice to see correct summer spell choice being used effectively. After a rough start to the top lane, you can still see that 10 CS difference between the Upclouds and Platoon. But to be fair, we've seen a night and day difference on Platoon from, oh, nice Cocoon. It does land even after the body slam. Going into the Rift Herald pit. Oh, the Rift Herald's going to help get first blood. All right, well, there you go. Automobile 5 coming up for moral support, but there's first blood on the board for Waterloo. So they start off to, you know, just as strong a start as they had in game number 1. Well, maybe not just as strong. That was a pretty good start that they had. So this time around, we're starting to see a much bigger performance from the jungles. We've seen them both be very, very aggressive and to a lot of effect. To be fair, however, Slayer's definitely getting the worst side of that. Platoon just as strong, even though he didn't pick up his first blood at 2 minutes 20 seconds. He's still putting down a lot of damage. Exhaust actually out there. June able to block a lot of that damage coming back his way, but and look at Dokla. He's not afraid. He's staying in that matchup and actually has come out to a you know, 10 CS advantage of his own, looking to make that 15 or 20 as the game goes on. Kind of a weird matchup between Cassiopeia and Ziggs. The idea is that, you know, Ziggs wants to stay back and just farm with bombs, and Cassiopeia wants to, you know, get just in range to be able to get some of those poison hits down. And oh wow, will actually be able to get a lot of them down. Oh, goes in for the slow. One more auto attack. No, just the poison ticks. Automobile 5. Getting that upgrade. And yeah, cool, uncool. They're taken out. He's gonna lose a lot of the CS at turret, most likely, as Cassiopeia continues to push that in. Although pausing for some typing there, I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe looking at what item he wants to buy in the shop. But, of course, in the bottom lane, we actually had Dokla out-sustain Lake in lane. But he was able to stay in lane long enough to be able to use his teleport again, so he'll be getting that back up here in just a second. And, yeah, so big win there in the mid lane for Automobile. This is looking a lot more like game number 1, where Automobile had a very, very strong performance, and Uncool just did not look as solid with his these mages in the mid lane. No turrets being traded out early. We saw the lane swap countered out. Even though it didn't work out super well, it was still effective at keeping the turrets alive. So no turrets have died just yet, although that top turret does have about 300-400 HP gone. It's actually precisely 600 HP gone. 800. All right. I got my math right there. But bottom lane is where we're going to see Sherb coming in for the gank on a Dokla. He's walking up for a pink ward, and he's going to have to keep walking if he wants to get out of here. A nice pillar, nice cocoon. Sherb could have repelled onto him and gotten those red buff slows down, but instead does nothing of the sort and is just going to try for that Scuttle Crab. Just kidding. Wants to try to go help out Dokla and Uncool as Automobile 5's gotten himself in a little bit of a rough situation. Coming around the corner, there's the cocoon. Lands onto Uncool. Flash away. Automobile 5 will stay alive, but Flash was forced out. Dokla versus Lake. Pretty sure Lake is going to be on top of that one. Bomby Cinder is so crucial in that matchup, because not only does that mean that, you know, Trundle can't just keep shoving you in, it means that you actually win persistent trades, and that's kind of what Trundle wants to go for. Ideally, you would pick up something like you know, a Ravenous Hydra or Blade of the Ruined King. Looks like he's going the Ravenous route to get that lifesteal and damage down early. But yeah, you can see, while it does look like Dokla may have started winning that, the persistent damage from that Bomby Cinder stacking up over time just for free is a little bit too good to be true. Not a lot going on. Some brief downtime once again. Although mid lane, right as I say that, Cocoon lands through the bounce up. That is a lot of damage, but you can't go in through that Hextech minefield. Mega Inferno Bomb, look at that damage. Flashing forward, what is Uncool doing? I don't know about that, man. Sure, be able to take him out. Little greedy there. The culling lands onto the clouds, almost perfect. Flashing in, flashing forward. True shot barrage for the turnaround. But gets turned around again as Malphite coming in there. Lake with the turnaround, around. Thundercat's very low, but now Slayer's turn to go down. Repel there for the follow-up. There, Sherb gets busted! There's the turnaround kill from Slayers. Takes him out of there. Dokla now looking for the kill onto Lake. Got into the fight, and it looks like he'll get out of it too. But man, look at that play. Those plays, multiple plays being made. A 2-for-1 exchange in the end. Slayers, the only member of University of Massachusetts to come out on top. And wow, what a game. This time around, Waterloo reprising their role from game one. Still very, very strong, but it does appear as if they are making the same moves. You've got wins in every lane, with the exception of top lane. It does look like Dokla is coming out slightly ahead in that matchup, aggressively as opposed to passively. Malphite heading bottom lane. Dokla up on top turret should be able to take that one down before Lucian gets there. So that should uneven the turret kills and give the first turret kill of the game over to University of Massachusetts. Oh, looks like Dokla is actually going to suicide for it. Okay, I'm not sure that was worth it. You gave away 450 gold for just taking down a top turret. Maybe it was. Maybe it was not. But if you want to look at it from Dokla's perspective, maybe not good individually, but good for the team. And with that top turret down, he's now going to lose his top turret. So essentially saying, hey guys, for your turret, would you like a turret kill, assist gold, and global gold from killing my turret? Well, I think that does definitely make it not worth it. We're going to give all that away there. Thundercats, whoa, taking a lot of damage here. No exhaust. An Automobile 5 now on top of the scoreboard and the gold board. Gold board with 2-0 and 1 score. Actually, I think Ezreal or Lucian might be a little bit further ahead. Yeah, okay, just about 900 gold ahead, so basically the same, you know. Flash, Cocoon, that lands. We're looking for more poison damage, and Lake even ulting for that. That was a little bit of a maybe overkill. But still, it kills a kill and killing off Ezreal. To be able to land that Cocoon before Ezreal has reaction time to Arcane Shift it, that's pretty good. So, very impressive play to be made there by Sherb. Man, every time I see this guy, he's playing these like wacky super tank champions that no one else plays. And now he's playing like literally the strongest jungler in the game. If you go by like Korean solo queue ladder, I think the current rank 1 player there actually played nothing but support Elise. And of course, at least in other positions too, because she's very versatile. I don't know how it works, but yeah, definitely not support Elise this game. Trying to keep an eye on Slayers. There's the heal from Janna, but Thundercat's bow won't be able to save him. The up cloud's trying to kite backwards, but he gets hit by that Winter's Bite. The Summoner heal keeps him alive. There's the Janna shield as well. Sherb can't stretch through the turret. Turret will save them. Oh, Mega Inferno Bomb hits on to June, but barely does not catch him there. Wow, that was it's a lot of damage. And that was dead center on the Zigzal, so no damage reduction there from hitting it like on the side or the edge. It was just a lot of damage, but unfortunately, just a little bit too little.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Catching on to Slayers, it's 1v2. He's pretty tanky, so he might be able to get out of here. Might not. Yeah, there's another Malphite. These cooldowns are ridiculous. Up whenever you need it, but now Sherb walks right into those Mystic shots, and now with more to land there, no Iceborne Gauntlet completed just yet. They do continue to land there. Oh, Dokla might be in a little bit of a rough spot, slowed out there a little bit, and yeah, he is not long for this world. There's the last sit to slow him down. He's going to flash over the wall, though, so he should be able to make it out of there alive. Wow, this game is certainly starting to get pretty crazy, with a lot of plays being made by Waterloo. They're coming on top out in most of them, with the exception of a couple of times Sherb has had to just kind of take one for the team. Mega Infernal Bomb up again, but unfortunately ineffective. Yeah, there we go. I can't actually use words. Ineffective at deterring Waterloo from pushing in. I feel when you have Gragas and Ziggs, two great wave clears, and your wave clear is not enough to keep your turrets from getting pushed down. Already, top lane turret taken down by the impressive Lake. Joined last game. Of course, he still looked good, but he's played a bunch of different champions too, so that should be a kind of a wake-up call as well. Very proficient in a lot of things. Wow, the up clouds getting chunked down below half HP. And now, yeah, apologies for some of the downtime. Like I said, it has been a very long day. I am the only voice that you're hearing tonight, so might take a little bit of a break to sort of, catch my breath, take a drink, and keep up on all the action. Interesting to see Gragas play now, because he does have a little bit of a rework to his kit, where he now does AoE with his Drunken Rage. At least I believe it is the Drunken Rage that they changed about him. Yeah, it was Drunken Rage. So now, Automobile has to keep careful. We're gonna have the culling there, and I'm not sure about that Braum ultimate. Slayer's slowed down a little bit, forced to flash out of it. Sure puts the Spiderling in there, and the push should continue here. No! Dokla, what are you doing? He's gonna push her against the wall. She does go down, but a nice turnaround there. Here comes Jake, though, gonna be taking out Slayers. It's a 2-for-2 so far. Jonah walking backwards, Uncool pushing forwards. There's the exhaust onto Platoon. He can't actually deal a lot of damage here. Uncool there, but it's up clouds. He's gonna go down. The flash into the turret. The summoner heal. The turret shot will not kill him. Platoon is still alive. Thundercats could definitely kill him off with an auto attack if she has that shield on, but no. Platoon is safe. That is going to be a 4-for-3 exchange in Waterloo's favor.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Turret does get taken down there in the end by Platoon, and man, I don't know if that's lucky or if that's just really good survival spacing there. I don't know. Platoon still very strong this game. Strongest member on his team in the game, actually. 5-0-3. And of course, stacking up crit on top of his Essence Reaver. So currently, we want to look at Platoon's stats. You can see 30% cooldown reduction, which is absolutely ridiculous. Wherever that is. Yeah, giving 30% cooldown reduction gained in total. That is, that's pretty good as far as items go. Plus, with just a static shiv, he can get that, and he can continue to buy into things like this. Joram's Fist is probably, I don't want to give anything away, but I'm guessing that has the Sterax gauge. It could be wrong, or it will be built into that. We'll get a chance to see here in not too long. Top lane, even though Lake has been making these crazy engage, he has been in almost half of his team's kills. He still has 0 deaths. That means he has been playing kind of passively this game, just wants to not feed. And he's doing certainly a much better job at it than I would. Every time you walk in a lane a couple times, you die over and over again, you're like, okay, well, I don't really feel like playing this, and then you die even more, and you're like, okay, well, that sucks. But for Lake, he's like, well, maybe I'm going to be a little bit less effective, but he still has a lot of options, a lot of opportunity going in for the steal, but no, Slayer's going to get locked down there by those concussive blows, trades his life out for absolutely nothing. I guess he traded it for a chance to steal the dragon, but that chance did not pay off.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Big ult there, but that's not going to be enough for the stun. Still enough for the kill, though. Automobile 5 taking out Ziggs again. Uncool. That's his second death in a row and just a straight-up 1v1. Automobile, he's definitely, putting it into overdrive. He filled up with Octane today. And all that move speed helping him really maneuver effectively in these fights. Dokla wants to go in for more, but I'm not sure he can even make it out at this point. Yeah, Lake's just like, alright, guy, come on, you are out of here. Knocking it out of the park. Automobile with his 4th kill of the game. And really just both the carries fired up. Here on Waterloo, able to dodge out away from a lot of it, but can't prevent all the damage. Sherb does take down Thundercats in the meantime, but that's only a support. So definitely going to have to wait a little bit. Be able to find a few more of those.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
This is certainly a much, I don't want to say much slower game, because we certainly do have a lot of kills. It just seems like everything all happens at once, and then there's not a whole lot going on. And then everybody dies again, and then there's not a whole lot going on. So kind of oscillating back and forth like that. I guess that makes it good for both kinds of people watching. Like, if you're one of those deeply strategic maneuvering, statistician kind of guys, then you probably want to see very low kill games that are, very highly skill level, lots of great rotations. Or are kind of stompy. This one may be in that category, but it certainly does have, oh man, the culling, forcing out that summoner heal. Like I was saying, this game does have aspects of multiple different kinds of games. Gonna need to see that ultimate. There's the poison damage into the cocoon. Dokla did not build tanky. He certainly didn't build any magic resistance there. He does get taken out fairly easily. June looking for the 2-man hit. Does get 2 off of that glacial fissure, but it doesn't really accomplish all that much. Mostly just going to allow for the disengage. Here for Waterloo, they are looking to not necessarily pressure Baron, but neither team knows where the other is at this point. Well, I guess Waterloo know the players from UMass that are actually standing in lane next to minions. Oh no! Thundercats is going to dodge the cocoon, but it just doesn't matter. Lake's got some more slows there, and actually just winds up ulting in onto the clouds. Slayers dies, flashing over the wall there, counter flash. Lake with a double kill, and now Uncool trying to run his way back to base there. I think Lake can just continue to tank this turret up, but nope. Decides against it and just walks back out to be a happy little rock. Dokla going to help him have many happy little rocks, but I don't think it's not something that they're going to go for. No committal there. And 7-23 is the score at the end of things. 6-1, both carries for Waterloo. Really, really putting in big performances. And now we get to reset again. Woo! Back, everybody to base. Blue buff for Ziggs. That's going to make this game super exciting. And hey, it's been a while since we've had Ziggs in our games. You guys all know what that means. That means that it's time for sieging. It's time for counter sieging. Lots of wave clear. Oh no, Dokla! Hashtag save Dokla. Dokla lives matter. But not today, as he will go down for his 5th death of the game this time. His CS is pretty good, but unfortunately none of that matters when you're dead. Lake coming down bottom. Pretty standard Malphite build there. Boots of Swiftness could have been something else, but they certainly make a lot of sense. And Explosive Cask will not make a lot of sense there. Just trying to split up the fight. And keep these guys from going for this bottom lane turret. They're going to try to tank things up. They use up that Malphite shield and the face of the mountain. As these minions push in, you can see some auto attacks from Platoon on that turret. Nice satchel charges there from Zinx to push Platoon back and clear out the wave. Keep this base turret alive for now. Check out the dragon count. You can see 2 dragons being taken there by Waterloo. That means that not only will they be able to get the burn damage to turrets, but by taking this 3rd dragon, they not only get the move speed, but they'll also be able to get 1 dragon closer to getting that 20% turret damage reduction. And I think that's the biggest change, is that now 4th dragon actually matters. Plus 2nd dragon actually matters too, because giving you that true damage burn means that you can pretty much just like walk up to a turret, hit it once, back off, let the burn damage tick down, hit it again, and then it'll burn down without you actually having to stay in range. It doesn't help you take it down faster, it helps you take it down more safely. I think that's what a lot of teams were missing, and really weren't prioritizing these dragon buffs quite as much. Not so fast, Waterloo. You may be 24-7, but you're still not impervious having turrets taken against you. Not willing to fight that fight. Waterloo now looking for the counter engage. And to be fair, great flank opportunity here from Lake. If he wants to teleport to like this ward, he can come all the way up here and just go to town. But instead, backing off, playing defensively, while the rest of his team just casually says, hey, we're going to lose this mid turret. No big deal. We've got 3 dragons for extra move speed. We've also a turret ahead as well, so still a little bit questionable why they had to take a back seat on that. If you look at the gold count, you can see no one really with a ton of gold in their coffers, except for about 1,400 in automobiles. So by and large, pretty much exactly where they want to be at this point in the game. Nothing too crazy. Waiting on a warp is not sneaky, sure, but he finally finds out the truth behind the lies of that bush. It was warded all along. They set us up the ward. But it's swept out now, so good guy Jun Hyung. Going in, there's Baron going down, there's Dokla, gonna get knocked up, 2-man knock up there by Lake, and everybody's piling on there, but oh no, this could get turned around. There's the automobile, immediately flashed on, the up clouds takes him out and flashes back away. Lake trying to take him out, and he will there towards the back. It's a double kill there for Lake in the end, and a 4-for-1 exchange in Waterloo's favor. Baron buff is theirs as well, and as fast as Slayers tries to run, something tells me he is not making it out of this one. An ace for Waterloo. They pick up the ace. They're now 29 to 8 kills. That was actually a pretty close fight. The up clouds was trying to go off there in the back. He did manage to pick up that 1 kill onto Automobile 5, but unfortunately that was not enough to turn that fight around, and this is going to be the first inhibitor of the game going to Waterloo in the mid lane, and of course might even be able to put some damage down on the top base turret in the top lane, or yeah, the top base turret with Lucian Platoon continuing to push that lane in. Gets the Baron buff minion, and should probably have recalled in range of that just to make sure that it would go down, but of course better safe than sorry there. Man, this game is just not, I would say it doesn't stop, but it actually does stop. Like right now, there's absolutely nothing happening. They're just clearing off a few wards. You know, you've got Ziggs in the mid lane doing Ziggs things. Automobile's trying to stay safe, and really, okay, yeah. See, Automobile doesn't even care. He's got Swifty boots. Some bombs coming his way, but oh, there's the cocoon. Does land Sherb. Does get knocked into Thundercat's Woe, trying to run away. There's Automobile. Has a lot of damage to put down there. Needs a Void Staff in a pretty bad way, but I'm not sure if he's really going to realize that. Oh, there's the big Malphite ult in onto the Upclouds, trying to take down this Ezreal. You really can't run away in a godlike Lake, picking up his 7th kill of the game. Dokla and the rest of UMass Amherst forced to run back into their base, and now with the minion wave now empowered up by these Baron minions, or by the Baron buff, it's going to be pushing down to the bottom lane. There's no way to save this. Mega Inferno Bomb doesn't even kill off most of the minions. There's now damage in here on to the inhibitor. This one's going down. You got Malphite 7-0 up in the top lane. He's making his presence known. Trying to push down that inhibitor as well. Bottom inhib, mid inhib, all 3 inhibs about to be down. Automobile even just putting down a little bit of the pressure, as the top lane inhibitor will finally fall. All 3 inhibitors down, and now University of Massachusetts Amherst have the defense of their lives to make here. Uncool goes down, a flashback out there by Platoon. Platoon somehow still alive there in the back. Finally gets taken out of there, but is that a little bit too little too late? Thundercat's Woe very, very low and trying to get taken out, but no. Stays alive. This turret, however, will not. Base turret goes down. Now the Nexus exposed. Uncool pushed back to his base. One more Twin Fangs would be all that it takes. There's that Seraph's Embrace to keep Automobile alive. Everybody back on their fountain here. Lake goes back in with an unstoppable force. And that's what Waterloo are this game. They will be able to take out this Nexus here in just a few seconds. Jung goes down there. Automobile about to fall. And the Nexus ticking down little by little. Little by little. And there it is. Automobile just wants the last couple of auto attacks. A double kill to finish off the game. A triple. And that is going to do it. Mom, get the camera, because that is a victory for Waterloo. Game 2. They will take this series down 2-1. And what a series indeed. It's a little bit long. Very, very long. So I hope you guys stuck with it. If you did, thanks for watching. What a time to be alive. Incredible series by just about everyone involved. So definitely a big thanks to everyone for coming out and tuning in to tonight's CSL. I hope you guys enjoyed the CSL that you did get to see. That's going to do it for our programming, so I hope you guys, come back. If you guys want more information on CSL, you can follow us on Twitter at CStarLeague. We tweet out everything that's going on with CSL. If you're just interested in collegiate League of Legends or collegiate esports in general, go to your school and check it out. If there's a CSL chapter there, you can find them on cstarleague.com. If there's not, you can help get one started. And of course, if you want more information on anything that CSL is doing, you can head on over to cstarleague.com or facebook.com/Collegiate Star League to check it out over there. That's going to be all for us tonight. I have been Reed Rapid Melton. If you want to check me out, you can find me on Twitter at RapidCasting. I'd love to hear what you guys thought about tonight's games. It was very long, incredibly tiring, but super, super fun. I'm glad I got to have fun with you guys, and hope you guys had fun with me. And of course, with all the other teams and players and everything else, it's been a good night. But like all good things, it must come to an end. So I do want to thank everyone for coming out and tuning in to this broadcast of the Collegiate Star League's League of Legends coverage. Hope you guys will continue to follow us over the course of this regular season, and even check us out at DreamHack, where thanks to the Asus Republic of Gamers, we will be having the CSL finals there. Of course, a big thanks to them and to Twitch and Brain Gear for sponsoring the CSL. Now, without further ado, on behalf of myself and everyone here at the Collegiate Star League, we want to thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you back again later. Check out the schedule down below, and we'll see you next time for more CSL.